I got her and really didn't know what it was, and kind of still don't know what it is. The lady that sold it to me could only tell me that she had got it from one of those orchid shows, and that they were very, very expensive, and she had received, I guess, a tiny, tiny bulb for about $9. And they bloom profusely, but that's all she could tell me. And what really intrigued me about this plant right here is I noticed that on each pseudobulb, they had this spike that shows to me that it had already been in bloom. And almost each pseudobulb has this old spike. So that tells me that this is indeed a heavy bloomer, giving off lots and lots of flowers. So definitely that is what excited me. Now the greatest surprise is that about 3 months ago I purchased this, and now if you look closely, you will see flower spikes actually already coming out. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Also, here's another one. So this is the second one. Then if you look right here, this is the third one. And if you look over here, hidden is the fourth one. Her spike's getting a little bit more defined with the blossoms. You can definitely see the definition. And I'm seeing a little purple in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it my imagination, folks? My wishful thinking? But I definitely am seeing some purple in here. And the lady that I purchased it from, she did say that it blooms in purple. Because her pseudobulbs have really gotten so huge. So huge. And I just love touching and feeling on them. I'm just so touchy and feely. Because these bulbs are just so huge and scrumptious. I just want to eat them. No, not really, folks. Don't eat the bulbs, folks. Now, this Encyclia Orchid is a rather huge size. Definitely has very beautiful bulbs. Very plump and healthy. Now, they do have a little bit of browning because they've been trying to be acclimated to the sun, but they're doing quite well. Now, first the flower spike and the bud started off very, very green. But as you can see now, folks, they've really turned into this dark purple bud, or buds. And you can also notice that they are very huge in size, which really, really excites me. Because some of the Encyclia orchids have smaller blossoms, but this actually will be of a very good size. And of course, again, the very deep purple, which I am absolutely thrilled about, because some of the blossoms of the Encyclia can be rather more of an earthy tone. And to be honest with you, I'm the flashy, flamboyant girl that really likes to see flowers that really catch attention. So indeed, these are going to be big blossoms and hopefully very flashy and flamboyant. So folks, in the meantime, I'm going to really have to patiently wait for these buds to bloom in order to find out exactly what type of Encyclia it is. But as of right now, I am really thinking that it may be a variety called the Cordagira, because a lot of times they have very flamboyant colors, very deep colors, and indeed that is what I am assuming this is. Fingers crossed on that, folks. So wow, what a major difference from what this actual bud first started looking like when we started on our Encyclia journey. It really has amazed me that the color change is very extreme. As you can see now, it's a very, very deep purple. And that gets me really excited, folks, because I was really hoping that this Encyclia would be one that really is flashy and showy in color, because this can be of a deep maroon or a purple or even show a tinge of pink. I've seen them in all sorts of colors, Now, these also can come in more of your monotones or your earth tones, which is more of your browns and your maroons and greens. And I don't know, folks, but to me, it's not as flamboyant as the purple ones. So definitely, I'm excited to see exactly what type of blossoms this will give and to finally find out what this Encyclia is. Okay, so today what we're going to do is I'm going to give you an update on my Encyclia orchid. As you guys know, about 5 months ago, I received this Encyclia orchid. Actually purchased it at a garage sale for $10, and at the time I purchased it, I didn't know what exactly it was. I did know that it was an orchid because of its pseudobulbs, but I didn't know exactly what kind of an orchid, so did my research, and I found on the internet pictures that were similar to this, so I assumed that this was an Encyclia orchid because of the way the pseudobulbs grew and of course the foliage and how it looked as well. And I also got some confirmation from Miss Orchid Girl as well, and looking at my video, she did state also that she thought it was an Encyclia. And of course we did not know exactly what type of Encyclia, because you won't know that until you get to see the blooms or the blossoms. And it's been about 2 to 3 months in the making since this Encyclia started making its spikes. Now, of course, when it did make its spike, it was totally and completely lime green, from the spike to also the buds as well. And it was at a lime green for a good while, until I would say about 3 weeks ago, where I started noticing a tinge of purple, a deep purple. And as you guys can see now, not only are the blossoms huge compared to what they were, but now they are a definite purple color. So that leads me to believe that this is what they call an Encyclia cordagira or cordagira, however you guys want to pronounce it. I will pronounce it cordagira because I like that sound better. So that is my assumption, that this is actually a cordagira. And this actually gave me 4 spikes. Now, as you can see, some of the actual buds have bud blasted, unfortunately. And I gather that's from me bringing it in and out from the garden to my house, from the garden to my house, back and forth because of the flip-floppy weather. Now, as we take a closer look, you're beginning to see that it is beginning to open up. And as you can see, they're interesting shapes as they begin their blooming process. Okay, folks, I am so proud to announce that indeed this Encyclia has bloomed. Now, of course, it hasn't fully opened yet, but indeed you can tell the telltale signs of what it is. This indeed is an Encyclia cordagira. You can see they are all beginning to bloom. Very exciting event here, folks. Oh, they are just so gorgeous. So beautiful, folks. Just wonderful. Almost star-shaped. And of course that frilly magenta lip. Just gorgeous. And folks, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to find out that this in fact is an Encyclia cordagira. Yay! And the reason why I'm so excited, because a lot of your Encyclias, as you guys know, can be a little bit more rather drab in their coloration. Well, folks, in this case, this cordagira is definitely not dull or drab. It has some pretty colorations from your purples to your maroons to your fuchsia, and definitely is just such an elegant gal. I absolutely love this cordagira. Another beautiful fact about this cordagira is the fact that it has such a sweet smelling fragrance. As a matter of fact, it smells just like a rose. So sweet and heavenly. And folks, just because these petals kind of look a little bit frilly, I want to let you guys know this is really waxy. I mean, kind of hard to the touch. So indeed, they're not flimsy at all. This flower is actually very, very waxy. And you will notice some frill or kind of some curvature to the petals as well. So definitely an interesting shape for the flower blossom. Just very excited. Oh, I love this Encyclia so much. Okay folks, so now that we know that indeed this is an Encyclia cordagira, on the next footage that I will show you all of the blossoms in bloom and show you just how amazing this cordagira Encyclia orchid is.